Well, sugar. Cheers, bitch.
Cheers, bitch.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays,
We're
everyone.
back. We found our way back into the kitchen, back to the microphone,
We did it.
back to the future. All sorts of things.
Like something.
We're back. So yeah, and we're a little off schedule, but we're trying to get it back in there, tighten it up. We're trying to tighten things
Tighten it up.
Trying to tighten things up, guys. So
We'll get it.
Just give us some time, we'll get there, or
Time and patience. That's all we have. Time and patience.
And I mean, I could use some money.
Money would be great too.
I mean, don't just stop there.
Indeed. Oh my gosh. We've got cheer in our cup.
Oh, we have some holiday cheer. Mine says Murray.
Murray. Yeah. You got a left-handed mug.
It's fine. Most of them are left-handed.
No, most of them are right-handed.
Most of the mugs that I drink out of, the picture or whatever faces me.
And that's why when you find cute mugs, I should get it. Because you're always
shut up. Shut your mouth.
Okay. All right. Well.
It's funny how we just both drank at the same time. Must have been uncomfortable for us.
Cute earrings. You got ugly Christmas sweaters.
Let's just say they're Christmas sweaters.
You got Christmas sweaters.
Don't say they're ugly.
They're cute. I said they're cute.
No, well, yeah, you have cute, ugly sweaters on, and you've got cute reindeer on.
Reindeer.
I have those same ones.
Love.
So, welcome to Sugar Coated Murder Podcast.
I'm Ann Varner.
I'm Karen Devaney.
And we're sisters.
We're sisters. We are. We still are.
We're
there.
Look, we got a sign. What? Look at us go.
We are sugar coated.
Fancy.
Yes. So have any housekeeping things that we want to talk about before we get started?
Oh, I was just getting ready to tell you before we started my new favorite thing to eat for dessert. Oh my gosh. I love me some Tillamook ice cream.
Yes.
Well, I just get the Tillamook vanilla. And if you'll recall, on one of our mini outings, we picked up some peppermint dust, which is like
we did
pulverized peppermint candies.
Yes,
but it really is dust, but it's so pretty.
It's very
Girl,
pretty.
I've been scooping that ice cream
like
into
peppermint ice cream.
Yes, putting the dust in and topping it with Hershey's chocolate syrup.
You're out of control.
I am out of control.
There's a serious issue going on.
I'm living a good life, is all I can say.
Hey, listen, be merry.
I mean, if you can't do it right now,
freaking joy in your life. You never know when today is could be your last day.
Yeah, I'm like dinner, whatever. I'll eat it because I have to. But I can't wait for dessert.
Woo, yeah. Well, we always were the clean plate club. So in our house, you only got dessert if you cleaned your plate. You didn't get dessert every night, but if there was dessert involved, you had to clean your plate first.
That's why we sneak.
Which is why we sneak, and it's why I used to put peas in my pocket. Because I don't like peas, and there were always some peas showing up on my damn plate at dinner.
Oh God!
And so
I'm not much of a pea fan.
No, me neither.
I'll eat them,
and I felt like that was known to the cook. That was well known.
I know.
So I felt like
I'm sure there's some vitamin in peas. That's essential.
Turns out it isn't.
No, there are no vitamins in peas.
Not any that you can't get from somewhere else.
Just give me a supplement.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we had Flintstone vitamins.
We did. I feel like that was enough. So housekeeping, let's think. Housekeeping.
Well, we're about to publish a cookbook.
It is.
We are so close. We think it's going to be next week, guys.
We're minutes away.
We're minutes away. We could get a phone call any minute now, I don't have my phone with me. So if she's calling me, we're in trouble. It's all right. It's fine.
Yeah, but I think that she wants to meet with us on Friday.
Okay.
So
here's the great thing, guys. If you all have listened to all of our episodes, then you will be quite familiar with all of these recipes.
Yes,
they're all from our episodes, which has been really fun for us to go back and revisit some of the things that we cooked like in the early days.
Yeah. We were wild and crazy back then.
We were
just doing whatever we
wanted. Just were like, throw caution to the wind.
We were drinking Bloody Marys like every single episode.
Yeah, it got to be pretty bad. Especially when you finally moved over here.
Oh yeah.
Like when we were still like I was having to drive. I had to drive, we didn't drink. No. Or you would have a little bit, but I couldn't.
Right.
But then when you would come over here, I could drink, but then you couldn't.
Right.
But then when you moved here, holy moly, the party gates opened.
I mean, and still continue.
And they continue to be open. Not only did they open, but we ripped the gate off. It can never be closed.
Yes.
Which is what life is
I
all
have
about.
to say though, some of those are our funniest episodes.
We've made up some really great
Words. That needs
but-
to be a book in the future, is our dictionary.
Gosh, yes, for sure. For sure.
Maybe if we do a cookbook number 2 at the bottom of some of the pages, we'll put
some
words from the dictionary.
Yeah, the sugar coated
And what they
dictionary.
mean. Yeah, educate people.
Absolutely. Educate them.
So we've got recipes, we've got show notes from our episodes, we've got tips and tricks that we've learned over the years for
We're very
baking.
excited. So we hope that you all will buy it,
and
then cook out of it and send us pictures and enjoy the hell out of it.
yeah.
And if you're not a cook, it's a really pretty cover. So you just put it in your kitchen and you look professional.
It's just lovely.
Yeah, you'll love it.
It's lovely.
Mm-hmm.
And right on the heels of the cookbook, like right behind that cookbook,
bam.
Kitchen into Home Plate is going to be our second book in the same name series.
Yes, and that book is titled.
Was that Jesus?
What could that have been? Because it's not my phone, because my phone is not here.
Silence my phone, maybe.
Yeah. She broke the golden rule.
There we go. Silence.
Silence.
It was very important.
Your car warranty has expired?
My car warranty has expired.
Thank God you got that text.
My cable people have been doing some urgent work in the area and have now completed.
Oh,
so bully for them. Yeah. I had no idea.
Okay. Well, we have
anything else?
I can't think of anything. I do want to point out that this week we did watch the Jamie Komorski, is that her name? The Folly Beach bride, DUI homicide situation. And we were really tied into that because it's, because of the local roots, of course, and all the attention.
Been on that road.
Yeah. Oh gosh, so many times. Like probably for me, a month ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a road that we go on a lot.
Yes.
My kids go on there almost every week.
Right.
So, but it's, I was happy to see that we've come to a resolution in that trial.
We've come to a resolution. And here's what I want to say as the mother of a 20-something-year-old. When we say to our kids, do not drink and drive, it's not enough. It's not enough. It has to be more. It has to be more than. Number one, we've got to set an example. We have to set an example for our children. Don't drink and drive as adults. Call an Uber. It just doesn't make any sense, and it's not worth it. I know this girl did not get in her car that night with the intention of destroying a family.
Wait, she even said in court, I made the worst decision of my life.
And unfortunately, mistakes have consequences.
And mistakes can't always be taken back. And that's the worst part is she didn't mean to, but she killed a woman and gravely injured another one and traumatized an entire generation or two of two families.
Absolutely.
And she didn't see that coming. When you're young,
I'm sure it wasn't intentional.
You're not thinking, this is going to be the outcome. You don't think about it at all. And that's the problem. You don't think. And we have to start thinking.
We do.
But we also need to look out for our friends.
Yes.
We need to make sure they're not drinking and driving. Our family members, there are consequences that are irrevocable.
Yes.
And
I made mistakes. I won't say that that I didn't make mistakes when I was in my 20s. I know I made mistakes, and it is just by the grace of God that I'm still here on this planet.
Me too. But you know what? We know better. When you know better, you do better.
That's right.
So if don't get it in your head, well, I drank and drive as a kid and I'm fine. I survived. Nothing happened to me. And so I'm going to just let my kid do that. And I'm not saying her parents said that. This girl was 20. She's 20.
She's 27 now.
Right, so she was 25. When it happened, she was out of their house. She had graduated from college. It's not like they're no longer governing her.
She had just gotten a new job,
Oh, she had such a bright future.
And for the next 25 years, because she made the wrong decision, unintentional though it may have been, she'll be in prison.
And that is
for
just
25 years.
very
There's
tragic.
no getting out early. There's no parole. There's
no.
nothing.
And
That's
hopefully
it,
she
period.
will find a way to completely 180 her life.
Yeah.
And have it be a permanent change. So, but
Give
anyway,
your kids an Uber or Lyft gift card for Christmas.
that should be in every kid's stocking. And people, even other people, if you have an aunt and uncle that you think they party hard and then they drive, give them an Uber or a Lyft. It's Uber and Lyft is everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Give everybody, go out and get an Uber and Lyft gift cards and give it to your loved ones that like to go out drinking.
Yeah.
Just give it to them. Let them put it in their wallet and it's there, and plead with them, please use this because it's free.
Right.
And it won't cost you anything, and it could save your life and the life of other people too.
That's right.
So,
but that's our public service announcement.
That is our soapbox. We're going to put it back under the counter, but
so hard to watch.
It was just devastating
to learn. You know how we talk about murder has a ripple effect. Vehicular homicide turns out also has a ripple effect.
Yeah, sudden death at the hands of another.
Yeah, but it's people in that family are afraid to drive. They're on hyper alert. They suffer from PTSD. There's so many things.
From the parents and the grandparents and the nieces and nephews and aunts and uncles and sisters and brothers, all the way down to the little children.
Yes, 100%.
They're all traumatized. I mean, she didn't just kill one person. She altered the course of so many lives that night, including her own, including of her, the lives of her parents too. I mean, I cannot imagine how much money they've had to spend on an attorney for her.
Right.
So, the ripple effect is huge, and it's generational, and it lasts forever. And let's all get together and say, for Christmas this year, I mean, Uber and Lyft, they're not sponsors of ours. We don't need to, we could use a little money if y'all wanted to kick it our way, but this is not a service announcement about those companies. It's an announcement about provide whatever resources you can to your loved ones to have a safe ride home.
Yeah. I mean, even my neighbors, I don't do a lot. Go figure. My child is grown and out of the house, and I'm not a huge social, go to the bars type of person. But if I'm out talking to my neighbors and they're like, oh, we're going to bingo or whatever, I'll say, call me, text me. If you need a ride home, I am happy to come and pick you up. No judgment.
Yeah.
So just maybe think about that. Just think about it.
And keep yourself alive, because we need you.
We need listeners.
Don't
do that.
We need people on this earth that like us. So could you stick around if you're one of those?
That would be great. Great.
Yes. Okay. So I cooked.
Oh,
I baked. I should say I baked. I know it's been a minute. So I'm going to tell you what I baked. I'm not done with it yet. I pre-baked the pound cake part of it, but the glaze that's going to go on, I'm actually going to make that while you're talking. But I want to talk about what I made real quick. I made a pistachio pound cake, and it's going to have a maraschino cherry glaze on it.
Oh my.
It's very festive. It's a bright green cake, and the cherry juice is going to make, and I'm going to add maybe a drop or two of red food coloring just to brighten it up a little bit. So it'll be very festive. Great dessert to serve for Christmas. And it's festive. And it's very easy. This pound cake actually was made from a box.
I love that. Who was it that used to go on, you could watch on TV? Was it Sandra Lee?
Yes, semi-homemade.
Yes.
I loved her. That's her jam.
That's what I thought of when you told me about this recipe. Semi-homemade.
Semi-homemade. I know. So,
and there's nothing wrong with it. There's some companies that make an excellent cake out of a box.
Why
change it?
Change it. Yeah. But the other thing is you know what? When you work full-time, or you're at home full-time with children or dogs or elderly parents or whoever, you don't always have time to make things from scratch. So this cake was really easy to whip up today while I was working.
You whooped it up.
I whooped it up. So I'll do the glaze.
Okay.
After I
can't wait to have a taste. I don't think I've ever had a pistachio cake.
I'm excited because I love pistachio and I love cherry. So put them together and it's going to be heaven.
Oh, wow.
I'm in heaven.
Oh, here we go. I keep saying no,
I
and
know.
everybody gives me a hard time about saying no. So I just am gonna let her sing.
It's not a good idea. Not a good idea.
Wait, sister.
Okay, well, I'm going to talk about murder. Okay, because that's kind of what we're here for as well.
True that.
So I'm going to take you back to the summer of, I can't say the words right, 2004. I want to say 24.
No.
But then it gets really confusing because we're in 24.
2004.
This is 2004. 2004. And I'm going to take you to Brick Township, New Jersey. I didn't even know there was a place, but it's like on the Jersey Shore.
Oh, all right.
Like a coastal type
I
town.
wonder if they got a lot of bricks.
I don't know. Thought that was a weird name. Brick, whatever. So Brittney Gregory was 16 years old, and she had just finished her freshman year of high school, going into her sophomore year at Brick Memorial High School in Brick, New Jersey.
Wow.
It's a lot of bricks being laid.
It's a brickster.
It's a brick type of story. Anyway, she had 100 average. She was such a smart cookie.
Oh, wow.
Not only was she smart, but in science class, she was really good in science. And our science teacher adored her. And he said, if he wasn't in the class or if he was helping other kids and somebody had a question, they went and asked Brittney.
Oh, wow.
That's how smart she was.
Very
she was
smart.
very smart and always wanted to help.
Nice.
Very smart. She was a cheerleader. So, she had a bubbly personality.
She's perfect.
Yeah. She was very bubbly and very bright and sweet. People just really adored her. And she lived with her father and sister. She was the youngest of 5 kids. One of her sisters and her lived with her dad.
Mm-hmm.
And then her mom and her other siblings lived in a different township, but not too far away. But
maybe it was
there.
They lived in Mortar Township.
They did it.
It wasn't mortar.
It wasn't mortar. It wasn't brick and mortar.
That would be fun, though.
I agree. Or wall.
Wall. Yes.
But it wasn't.
Ah.
So, and I didn't write down what it was. Anyway. So back on July 10th in 2004, it was a Sunday. Brittney and her boyfriend, John, got into an argument and broke up over the phone.
Oh.
Yeah. She was quite distraught about it. She spent most of that day trying to find a ride to go see John to work things out with him in person. There had been a huge miscommunication.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And most of the next day on Monday, she also was trying to find a ride to go see John. Her boyfriend's name was John, by the way.
Yeah, you said that.
I did. Okay.
You covered it.
Oh, good. Look at me. I'm such a journalist. Yeah. So anyway, so that Monday night around 8:30 in the evening, Brittney's mom, Deborah, talked to her on the phone and she said, I'm still trying to find a ride to go see John. And she said, Mom, can you come get me and take me? And her mom was like, Brittney, it's too late, babe. Like, I'm way over here.
Right.
You're way over there. And it's 8:30 at night, and it was summertime, but it was, right. Her mom just couldn't do it. So her mom said, I can't do that. Anyway, that's the last time Brittney's family heard from her.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So on July 12th, Brittney was not home in the morning. She wasn't there. And they're like, oh, well, maybe she got a ride to John's house. Maybe she's there. She wasn't at John's house. And they started looking for her, calling around. And they're like, oh, well, she'll show back up, I'm sure. It's summer. She just probably stayed out at a friend's house or whatever. That evening, she still wasn't home. And then her family finally got together and reported her missing to the police. A little bit about Brittney's home life at her dad's. So her dad, Joe, was a known drug user. I am not passing judgment on one single person in this story. Nobody, I don't judge anybody. We all are on paths and journeys and personal adventures. And I'm not going to judge people for where they were that day or where they were in their life. It's none of my business. But I will tell you that her dad was a known drug user, and he had a very busy home. He had that front door saw a lot of action from some unsavory characters that enjoyed coming over. And when I say he was a drug user, I'm not saying he just smoked weed. I'm saying he was into some pretty hard stuff.
Okay.
So it was they had a lot of people in and out all the time. And despite that, she was outgoing, super smart, a devoted student, a devoted daughter. And she was on a straight and narrow path, which for a 16-year-old, I got to tell you, that's impressive.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't.
Right. And we didn't have drug users as parents either. So like,
No.
she could have really gotten away with a lot, probably
Sure.
living with her dad. But anyway, so when they report her, the police immediately, once they find out who Brittney was, and this is kind of a small area, she didn't have any run-ins with police officers. She had never run away from home. She was this star student in her class at the high school. So they did not feel like this was a runaway situation. They felt like maybe there was something was going on more than just she ran away.
Right.
So they immediately took it seriously. Kind of. But it took them a couple days to start searching, but they were vetting a lot of people as well. And I think they kept thinking she's going to turn up.
Right.
So they start searching the area around her dad's house, and then they start their investigation, and they begin with her boyfriend, John, because he had talked to her, he had argued with her, and they thought, well, maybe she did get a ride over there. So they went and showed up at John's house, and he is shocked to find out that Brittney was still missing. He had heard that they were looking for her because, her parents had called
right
looking for her. And he was like, I argued with her on the phone. I haven't seen her. So he was really shocked that she had not turned up yet. And he told the police, I'll do whatever. And he was genuinely concerned. And he said, I'll do whatever you all need for me to do to help look for her or to help in your search for her. What can I do? And he even turned over a letter that Brittney had written to him. Like it was the last letter he had gotten from her, because they wrote each other. I mean, it's high school. It's in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
They're writing love letters.
Right.
I don't think they're sexting at this point. I think we're writing love letters. Mm-hmm. So he gave her that. And it was just this long letter about how much they loved each other and this, that, and the other. So the police said, we understand y'all broke up. And he was like, yeah, it was really stupid. I heard a rumor that she kissed a person. So I went out and kissed a person, and then she found out, and then she got mad at me. And then we got into a huge argument and we broke up. And he was like, it was just a really stupid misunderstanding. So now he's thinking, where the hell is my girlfriend?
Right.
So he even, they said, well, would you be okay coming down to the station with us? Because, they're trying to get information from him, but also poke the bear a little bit to see
make sure he's
how
not
cooperative are you.
Right.
So he was like, yeah, I'll go to the station. Got in the car with them, went down to the station, formal interview, gave them everything. Here's everything I know. Here's everything I did. They felt good about him not being involved, but they did ask him, can you come back in 2 days for a polygraph? And he said, absolutely, I'll be back. So a lot of times people say, absolutely, I'll be back, and they don't show up.
Right.
He showed up. He showed up 2 days later, passed his polygraph, and they cleared him. So meantime, the police got a really strange call from a known local drug dealer. I don't know how often drug dealers actually call into the police station. It's kind of weird.
I guess, yeah, if they're informants, maybe.
Yeah, this guy was not an informant. He was a local drug dealer. He was known to be a drug dealer, and he called the police, and he talked to the lead investigator. And he said, I just had a conversation with this guy named Jack Fuller. Jack Fuller was very well known in the Brick area. He had grown up in that area. He was a troubled kid from the beginning. He was bad news. He was locally known as a bad seed. He had a really bad temper. He was a known drug user and had gotten into some trouble, with some robberies, and I think maybe some like theft, that kind of stuff. He did have a court case pending against him in another county, not in this one. So this drug dealer said, I just had this conversation with Jack Fuller, and I can't help but tell you what he told me because I'm very disturbed by it.
Ugh.
And he said that Jack had told him that he had killed a woman and had buried her, but he was kind of afraid because he didn't think he buried her deep enough. And he had heard that the cops were out with dogs, sniffing dogs. And he felt like those sniffing dogs were going to find this body that he buried because he didn't bury it low enough in the ground. So he's just like casually having this conversation with this drug dealer.
What the hell?
And the drug dealer, well, that's kind of what he was like. He was like, what the hell?
In the world?
So as soon as Jack left, he called the police and said, I have a feeling it's this Brittney girl.
Oh no.
So the police, because he had heard about there was national coverage, but there was, of course, saturated coverage in their area.
Right.
And her sisters had all started, and mom had all started putting, and dad had put posters up in town. Like, it was a big news. The local news was talking about it. Everybody was talking about it. So anyway, so not only did he agree to talk to them, he then agreed to wear a wire for them to see if he could get Jack Fuller to talk about it again.
Oh, wow.
And this is not a guy that's normally an informant, but this is a guy that was compelled through the ickiness that he felt talking to Jack Fuller, that he was like, I think he's done something horrible.
Yeah.
So he actually wore a wire, and the police set this whole thing up, and they were listening in to the wiretapping or whatever they were doing. He wore a wire. So that's not really wiretapping, it's wire wearing.
Wire wearing.
Wire wearing. He was wire wearing.
It's all the fashion rage.
It's all the fashion. Oh, look what I have on.
Oh, wire rage.
Could it be?
No.
Wire rage.
Wire rage. I have wire rage.
I have wire rage. The wires just make me so mad. So anyway, he goes and has a conversation. He's all wired up with Jack. And as they listened, the drug dealer told Jack, hey, I've been thinking about that body you buried. You should go bury it. It's got to be 6 feet under, dude, or the dogs are going to find it. And so Fuller starts talking about this body that he buried.
Oh.
And he said, well, where I buried her is pretty remote. So I just can't imagine that the dogs are going to go up that far. And the guy was like, okay, I don't really know what that means. But the cops are listening and they're taking notes. So then he also says, hey, listen, I gotta go kill this guy, Tom.
Excuse me?
And the drug dealer was like, what are you gonna kill Tom for? He said, well, Tom gave us a ride, or he had given Tom a ride. Tom was the only person that could put Jack and Brittney together in the same car.
Tom.
Right. So Tom has no idea the danger he's in.
Oh, Tom.
He has no idea. So the police are like, ruh-roh, we need to go find Tom.
Yes.
So as soon as Jack Fuller pulls off, they're like, we got to go find Tom, and hopefully we can get to him before Jack. Because Jack said, I'm going to go kill him. Like, that's what I'm doing next. Like, I'm going to go through Dairy Queen drive-through and then go kill Tom.
Oh my gosh.
That's the kind of thing. So very nonchalant about it. So they go off and they're trying to find Tom. And okay, I got ahead of myself. It's okay. So now police have to go to stop another murder. They go to find Tom, and they also go and arrest Fuller on suspicion
like maybe get
of
him
murder
off the street. Yeah.
Because they're so afraid that he's going to get to Tom.
Right.
When they find him, they find his car parked along the side of the road. Not Tom, Jack.
Okay.
They find Jack Fuller, and they're like, oh my God, I wonder if Tom's in the back, in the trunk.
In the trunk.
And so what had happened is Fuller had run out of gas, and he walks up with the gas can. Either that or he was getting ready to burn the car, but they don't know.
Oh, right.
But luckily Tom was not in there. He was alive and well. And they took in Mr. Fuller. They took him in under arrest, and then they confiscated the car.
Okay.
Which is great. Good news. So then they start talking to Tom, like, telling him like what Jack had said about him being the only person that could put Jack and Brittney in the same car together. And by the way, he was going to kill you.
Mm.
So then Tom was like, oh, he's going to kill me? Well, then I'm going to tell you what happened.
Oh.
So what had happened was, according to Tom, was that Tom, they wanted to go do drugs with Brittney's dad. Okay. So Jack Fuller and Tom drive to Brittney's dad's house, and Jack gets out. Tom stays in the car because they're going to go pick up Brittney's dad. Brittney's dad is not there. Brittney is there, but Brittney knows Jack because he comes and does drugs at her dad's house all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So he's like a family acquaintance.
I'm Jack.
Kind of like that. Not really in that way, but she knows who he is. He knows her by name. She knows him by name.
Yeah, creepy guy, Uncle Jack.
Yeah. So
creepy Uncle Jack.
So when Jack comes to get in the car with Tom and says, hey, Joe, that's Brittney's dad, Joe's not here. Brittney then comes out and gets in the back seat. And Tom's like, what's happening? And Jack said, I agreed to give her a ride to her boyfriend's house. He's like, okay, take me home, drop me off.
Wait, Tom agreed.
Jack
agreed
to give Brittney. Tom's in the passenger side. Brittney's in the back seat. Tom says, well, then you need to go drop me off at my house. He was not going to go ride around with some 16-year-old daughter of a friend. Like, he was like, I don't know what's going on here, but I don't feel comfortable. Right. So he said that he got dropped off.
Listen, just because Tom is into the drug scene doesn't mean he doesn't have morals.
I agree. And that's the same thing with the drug dealer that wore the wire.
That's right.
So he dropped off Tom, and then Tom said, that's the last thing I saw of him, heard from him, nothing else. I've not seen him since. And they were like, well, he was coming to kill you today. So good thing you didn't see him. So then they're like, okay, so where the hell is Brittney's? Then they go and they start, in the meantime, they're still searching. They're searching for Brittney. They start talking to Tom about where are some places that you would think he would bury a body. And he said, there's some creepy, eerie woods that he loves to go up in, and he loves to do drugs out there and camp. He's very familiar with the area. I'd start there.
Yeah, the creepy, eerie spot.
The creepy, eerie, haunted woods.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay. So they start searching, and they're searching the woods like crazy. And the police officers on this case were so dedicated that on their days off, they would go out and search for Brittney.
Oh.
And they would take their dogs.
Oh, wow.
So one day, these two cops with their two dogs on their day off were out looking for Brittney. And they stumble across human remains.
Oh.
It's human remains of a female, young.
Not buried?
Barely buried, like maybe 2 feet. God. Right. He didn't put a lot of effort behind it, that's for sure. And she was under like a big, those big antenna transmitter things, they're huge towers.
Oh, yeah.
She was under one of those.
Oh.
So I don't know. I mean, in his drug-addled mind, I guess that was the best place to put a body. So when they find her, she is without any clothing at all. Ugh, they never found her clothing, as a matter of fact. So she's completely nude, and from the position of her body, they felt like there had been sexual assault. But the remains were so decomposed. They had been out in the heat for 16 days. Oh. So when they they could not identify her immediately, but what they did find next to the body was a necklace that said Brittney.
Oh.
And her parents were able to identify that necklace as being hers. But then they did need to get
dental
confirmation.
Right.
So they did have to wait a few more days for confirmation. So that was on July 27th that they found her. So she had been, like I said, 16 days. They couldn't determine her cause of death immediately. There were no shotgun shells. They could not discern any stab wounds. They did not rule out strangulation, but from the naked eye, you couldn't tell how she had been killed.
Right.
So she had to go to the coroner's office, and he had to figure it out. Well, he did figure out that she had suffered some pretty hard blows to the head.
Oh.
But they were not enough to have killed her.
Ugh.
Right. So then finally it's time to take the asshole to court, to go to court. The trial pile has been trending. Or the trial had been pending.
Oh.
See how I arrive at these things? Do you see?
I do.
It's not without logic.
Nobody ever said it wasn't.
It's just that it's like logic. Okay, anyway. Okay, here we go.
We're going to trial.
We're going to trial. Just before trial, Jack Fuller decides to plead guilty to murder to Brittney. Like literally kind of what happened this week.
Right. Like
we're all at the trial.
We're pick our jury.
Yeah, we're not gonna. We're just gonna. So according to Fuller, this is what happened. And in the court, what happened was So he had confessed, he had written a confession, it was given to the judge. The judge made him stand up in court and read and asked him questions from his confession and said, did this happen? Do you agree this happened? Did you write this? Did you blah, blah, blah. So piece it all together. And this is what Jack Fuller says happens to Brittney. And just keep it with a grain of salt, because I don't think that we have the full truth.
No.
And I don't think we'll ever get the full truth. And he's a sleaze bucket.
Murderers often don't tell the truth.
It blows my mind when murderers just lie.
Sometimes murderers lie.
It's crazy because you're already murdered.
Yes.
What's a lie? I mean, you have to lie. Just
get it out.
Just
if you're going to be brazen enough to take a lie,
burden yourself.
Be truthful.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Let's
own it. You're going to prison.
Just own your shit. Sorry. You're crap. I don't even know if we have to bleep that out. I don't know what the rules are anymore.
Well, we started off with bitches. So okay. I think we're probably okay.
Well, we'll see what YouTube tells us. Anyway, so he says that he did agree to give Brittney a ride to her boyfriend's. Along the way, he went up to his place where he likes to do drugs, and he stopped and pulled out a crack pipe and decided he needed to smoke crack right then and there. He couldn't wait another second. And he said that Brittney yelled at him about smoking crack with her in the car. She was pissed that he was going to smoke crack in the car. So he got frustrated because she was nagging him and he just wanted to smoke his crack, that he punched her in the head several times really hard.
Oh, I just got mad.
And then her head snapped back and she laid there. And once she was quiet and stopped yelling at him, he went on to smoke his crack as she laid next to him gurgling.
Oh.
So she died an incredible slow death. The coroner said she probably choked on her own blood, that he probably had broken her nose and that she was bloody, and that by having her head back like this, it just all pulled in the back of her throat, and that's how she died.
Oh my God.
So she drowned in her own blood while this guy smoked crack, literally next to her.
Oh my gosh. Because
he's an asshole. And so after he was done smoking crack, before he left, he went, I guess he said, I turned to check on her and she was dead.
Oof, go figure.
I know. So then he said, so I decided I needed to bury her. He never talks about how she lost her clothing.
Of course he doesn't.
No.
Because he's being a liar.
And the police also said they don't rule out that he strangled her. And that was probably when she was making the gurgling noises so that she would shut up. But because her body was so decomposed, what they know is that he killed her.
Yeah.
And he killed her because she yelled at him for smoking crack.
And when it comes right down to it, it doesn't matter. Dead is dead.
Dead is dead. It doesn't matter why he did it. And the fact is, he's an asshole, whether he did it because of the crack or because he was trying to rape her. It doesn't matter. He's still a monster, and he still really should not breathe our air.
No.
Sorry, but he shouldn't. So anyway. So he decides he's going to bury the body. Now, remember that she's a friend of her dad's and considered a family acquaintance. He was a friend of her dad's, but the rest of the family considered him an acquaintance. But they knew him, they knew of him, they knew how seedy he was, and that he hung out with Joe just for drugs. So Brittney obviously trusted him to some point because she was willing to get in the car with him.
Right.
So he really did betray a lot of people in doing this. So also his attorney said that Jack had pled guilty because he wanted to spare Brittney's family from a trial. But Brittney's mom, Deborah, said it's because he can't face us. He can't face our family because they showed up in court with white shirts and Brittney's picture on all of their shirts.
Good for them.
And she said he's too much of a coward to face us.
Right.
And so that's why he won't. And there were some arraignments or court dates that he chose not to show up for because, you don't have to show up. I never knew that till this year watching court TV.
Yeah.
But that little Montgomery girl, her dad didn't show up for the whole trial.
Oh, right.
He only showed up for the sentencing, and it was only because the judge made him. So he didn't want to be a part of any of it.
Too bad.
So this guy probably was in the same mindset. So anyway, he ended up getting 30 years for murder.
That's it.
That's it.
Oh,
that's it. And I think that's very sad. I don't think it was enough.
That was in 2004.
Yeah.
Oh.
exactly. And I haven't looked up, this is in New Jersey. I haven't looked up what their laws are, like how much prison time do you have to serve? And I don't know if he's under the if they're because of his track record, because of his past dealings with the law, if that will make parole harder. I think it does make it harder for him. But anyway, let's don't talk about him anymore because he's an asshole. But Brittney, let's talk about Brittney. So Brick Memorial High School, remember where I talked about they held lots of vigils for Brittney while she was missing with her family. They just were so supportive of her family, and the community of this little school just really banded together in this really awful time. So they set up a scholarship fund called the Brittney Gregory Scholarship Fund in her name. But remember, I told you she wanted to be a forensic scientist when she grew up. Well, her science teacher made sure that they brought a forensic science curriculum into the school.
Oh, nice.
Because that's what she wanted to be, and she never got to take those classes.
Fantastic.
So yeah, I mean, silver lining, I guess. But I watched a show that talked about this case, and they interviewed the main interview person that they talked to was her science teacher.
Really?
He absolutely still just cannot say enough good things about her. He really just thought she was a standout student. And, the world really lost a bright light that day.
Yeah.
Just really, because she was an all-American girl. Despite the troubles that she was having in her life, she was an exceptional person.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah. So she got snuffed out callously by a crack smoking asshole.
Oh, I hate crack smoking assholes.
Me too. They're the worst.
They're the worst.
The murdering kind are the worst.
Awful.
So anyway, R.I.P. little Brittney Gregory. You definitely lost her life way too soon. And I mean, I just send out comfort and prayers to her siblings and her parents and her family and her schoolmates that I'm sure still think about her. But it's very sad. But I'm gonna go make glaze for this cake. So, and I'm gonna probably chug some Baileys because this was an upsetting story. Because let me tell you something. We've been trying to record for a couple of days, and I just couldn't get my murder written. And today I turned on the TV, and this was on there, and I said, Brittney wants her story told.
There you go.
And I was able to write it in 30 minutes. Like once I did my research, it was like zip, zip, zip.
Right.
Yeah. It just felt like this is who needs to come and talk to us today. So
there you go.
Yeah. So here's to you, Brittney.
Here's what I know. I've had a lot of Baileys.
Oh, I
got a little bit of coffee.
Okay, hold on, let me check.
And what I'm feeling, I don't know if this thing is on fire. No, it's not even hot. Oh my God, I feel like I'm on fire.
It's this. Do you feel some heat coming up?
It's
not enough.
Oh my Lord, like turn down the heat. Can I turn my AC back on?
Can we put the windows up?
Oh Lord, I am hot.
All right, I'm gonna take my book and go.
Take your book and go.
Just give
me
a
minute. Why don't you just take your book and go?
I wrote this recipe down on a random blank page. Here it is. Okay.
More singing.
Oh God, you're so right.
Love it.
This is what happens to me all day long. I sing to my dog.
The voice of an angel.
I sing to my TV. I sing to my husband. I sing to all around me. You're just one of the many that get to enjoy it.
Love it.
All right. So don't say anything because when I'm getting up and going over there, I'm gonna cut this out.
Oh.
So people don't see my full.
Oh, the full Monty.
Yeah. Well, I do got britches on.
Oh, now we start.
Thanks.
All right, sisters in the kitchen.
Yes,
I'm in the kitchen. Sisters in the kitchen making glaze. Making glaze. Here we go. Well, I mean, I guess I can talk about my story.
Please do.
All right. Let's think about how did I come up with this? Oh, somebody told me about this when I was like, you know what? This is the kind of story I need to tell at the holidays. Oh. This is the kind of story I need to talk about. On July 18th, 2015, Heather was getting ready for a date. She was going to have her date come to her home. Okay. And she got this date because she posted something online about maybe some sex.
I'm sorry.
So She might have been a sex worker, but I think that really doesn't even matter.
No, that
It doesn't matter.
We don't care.
It doesn't matter. That's what she had to do her thing.
It's called survival work.
That's right. She was doing some survival work, and this man was coming to her home for some things, and she just needed to make a little money. That's it.
I know, I understand. I mean, I don't know. I'm just gonna stop.
So she's getting herself ready for her date, and the man knocks on the door, and she opens it, and she doesn't know him. She hasn't seen a picture of him. She's no idea who he is. Just guy coming to house. That's all she knows. And she opens the door, and he walks in and immediately pulls out a gun and sticks it right in her chest and says, "Live or die." I mean, rude.
That's so rude.
You didn't say hello. You didn't say nice apartment. You didn't, you look nice today. Yeah, exactly. Thanks for having me over.
Those kitten heels with those.
Can I bother you for a cup of tea?
Exactly.
Something, anything, but no, he just walks in, gun in the chest, live or die. But what kind of question is that? Live or die?
I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Good
Lord. The next thing Heather knows, she's in the fight of her life. This man is holding a gun to her chest and strangling her.
What the heck?
He has his arm wrapped around her neck. I mean, he is squeezing the leg, and she's little. She's just a little thing. She's a little thing.
Bless her little heart.
So she's, in a panic.
Of course.
And she's looking for anything that she can use to get him off of her. And she notices the rake. She has a rake in her house that she uses to clean up dog poop. Okay. It's not like the big flat, like a rake that's like this.
Yeah.
It's not that kind of rake. It's more of a
straight.
It's more of a straight rake, like this.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
That looks exactly like the rake that she used.
Yes. So she sees it and she grabs it. And when she grabs it, he drops the gun, and they're fighting over this rake. And she just wants to hit him, and he's, going after her, and she's getting beat to hell. And she's so freaking out. I mean, shit's going everywhere. Everywhere.
People, shit is going down.
And then she sees that freaking gun. Because he had put it right on her table.
Yeah.
And they're fighting. She grabs that gun. Watch me. You ready? He's behind her.
Yeah.
And he's strangling her.
Okay.
She grabs that gun. She reaches over her head, turns the gun, and pulls the trigger.
Good.
The girl ain't never shot a gun in her life.
Well, she doesn't.
Never shot a gun in her life.
Already.
The man gets blown back.
Mm-hmm.
His belt gets hooked on the doorknob, and he doubles over and hangs. And she calls 911.
Okay.
She calls 911, and she said, "I think I might have killed somebody. I shot a man." And the police come over. But what's happening in Charleston, West Virginia?
Okay. Glad you made that distinction.
Yes. The Charleston, West Virginia police come to her home, and they're like, "What the hell is going on?" And you can tell there's been a struggle. She's got marks all over her neck. Really? From where he tried to strangle her.
Oh my God.
And there he is, hanging off the doorknob by his belt, and doubled over.
Is he dead?
And he is dead. She shot him in the head. She got him in the head.
She needed to do what she needed to do.
She did. Listen, if that is not some sort of a celestial intervention, I don't know what is. I've never fired a gun before, and bam, bam, I got him. First try.
I mean, she's a sharpshooter
now. So the police are like, okay, let's just try and figure out what the heck happened. They start doing their investigation. They see the rake, they see the gun, they see one shell case. That's it, one bullet. And they notice, they find his wallet. They figure out which car is his in the parking lot, and they go out to look and see what they can find in his car. Well, they find out that the dead man is 45-year-old Neil Falls. He had moved to West Virginia from Eugene, Oregon. And in his vehicle, the police find 3 pairs of handcuffs,
Oh my God.
2 axes, a shovel, zip ties, a sledgehammer, knives, bleach, a large plastic bin, a machete, trash bags, bulletproof vests,
I would say it's a kill kit.
boots, clean socks, and clean underwear. In other words, they found a kill kit.
Yeah.
After further investigation, police believe that Neil Falls was a serial killer on the move. Yes. Also in his car was a list with the names of 10 women who lived in West Virginia and California. They now believe that he is responsible for the murders of women in Nevada, Ohio, and California.
She's a hero.
Freaking hero.
She's a hero.
Oh my gosh, I got chills. Look, I've got chills. Well,
I
don't look,
love it. I'm
which
not
is
gonna
good
look
because I'm
at
hot.
this.
And then in all, they believe that he murdered 10 women.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna give you some names because I don't think that they've gotten nearly the discussion in the world that they should have.
Absolutely. We need to hear those names.
And I'm probably gonna mess up lots of the names, including the name of this town. And this is just one little isolated area that I chose because it seems to have the most victims.
Okay.
First of all, you've got Charlotte Trago, 27, and Tamika Lynch. I didn't write down her age, but she was also in her 20s. They both lived in Chillicothe.
Where?
Chillicothe?
Chili who?
Chillicothe.
That's what it is.
Ohio.
Ohio.
They both disappeared May 3rd, 2014. Charlotte has never been found. Tamika's body was found in a nearby creek. Wanda Lemons disappeared November 3rd, 2014 and was never found. Shasta Heimlerich, 20, disappeared December 25th, 2014. Her body was found in a nearby river January 2nd, 2015.
Oh, wow.
Her abandoned car was found with the driver and passenger doors open, a dead battery, and it was out of gas.
Oh, she probably had car trouble.
Yep. Tiffany Sayre, 26, disappeared May 11th, 2015. Her body was found in a creek bed June 27th, 2015. Chillicothe is located approximately 2 hours from Charleston, West Virginia.
Oh, wow.
So they have this constant, this is not a very big town. They have this, what the hell is going on? It came out. I am speaking. Telling a very important story.
I know.
So it's important to know that this town is located approximately 2 hours from Charleston, West Virginia. It's not a big town, it's a small town. And you've got this big concentration. I would say big because within a year, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 women in their 20s have all disappeared.
Oh gosh.
Some of them have turned up murdered in bodies of water. Others have been disappeared for forever. And now they've got a serial killer, right? That has turned up in Charleston, West Virginia. All of these women were sex workers.
Okay.
And the disappearances and murders stopped in this town after Neil Falls was killed, July of 2015.
Well, they should have erected a statue of Heather.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
She's a badass, first of all.
I agree.
And second of all, she's a hero. She's a badass hero.
So Heather is Heather Saul.
Okay.
And she is a hero. She most likely saved the lives of the 10 women written on the list they found in his car.
Yeah.
And she exposed a serial killer. The FBI is working on all of the cases of the murdered woman, not just in Ohio, but they also had women in California and Nevada that were sex workers. And the MO matches what they think would have been Neil Falls.
Okay.
And all of them, he was in that area or within close proximity to the areas of where the women disappeared during the time that they disappeared. So for instance, the girl that disappeared in Nevada at the time he was working at the Hoover Dam. So
they can track him back.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, and now because of Heather, they have his DNA and they can use that in their investigations. Unfortunately, these things happen, the murders happened. It's been a while. And the bodies were not in good condition when they found them. So I'm sure it's going to be maybe a long time before they can ever figure out. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She saved some lives.
She saved major lives. Major. And I just need a feel good story. It's the holidays and I need a feel good story. I don't feel good about the Falls asshole killer from hell. I feel good about Heather Saul though.
I do too.
And I'm sure it changed the course of her life forever to have to, I don't care who you are, murdering is probably not an easy thing. Well, unless you're a serial killer, and then I don't care about you. But for a normal person who's not intending to murder, I would assume that murder is a difficult thing. So even though she fought off this predator and saved her own life, she did take the life of another human being. And I'm sure that weighed very heavy on her.
I'm sure.
But this is also a public service announcement to remind everybody and all of your loved ones, please do not give any of your personal contact information to anybody online. Post office box only. Post office box. That's unless you're meeting them, and then maybe don't meet them at your apartment. Meet them somewhere else, and do a background check. Get your dad to meet them. Whatever you have to do, and don't give out that, or have somebody like a big bouncer guy at your apartment when you have these people come over. Some sort of protection. You need some sort of protection, but
exactly.
That is what I wanted to talk about today.
Well, that's awesome. I'm heating up my coffee and bringing us a piece.
Girl, it looks like Christmas on a cake over there.
Christmas right here.
It's Christmas on a cake.
I'm going to hand it to you.
I'm going to take it.
Ooh, show the camera.
Look at that. Look how pretty. Look at that.
So festive.
Oh my goodness. It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
I just love it.
Did you cut your piece?
I was just going to share.
We can share.
Just for right now. Just for tasting.
We haven't even had supper yet. Oh, I love the way this glaze is just oozing down the side.
Don't talk.
Are we ready to taste it?
I brought my fork. Very spongy.
Sponge. It's very sponge. Got a lot of sponge.
I like it.
That tastes like Christmas.
It really does. I love that cherry glaze.
That cake is so moist.
It's very good.
Delicious.
This is very good, guys. This is such an easy recipe. I put like 3 drops of red food coloring in. You could put more if you wanted a deeper red. The cake, though, called for 8 drops of green. Woo! Which is why it's so green. But I think it's very pretty.
It's gorgeous.
It's just, it would be very festive on a table. So email us if you want the recipe. I thought Anna said if you want the resume. I got resume.
We're not giving you resumes.
No, but my son, we've been doing his resume because he's looking for jobs.
All right.
So he just graduated from.
Look at that camera.
Don't look at it.
Not that one.
Oh, I know. I was looking at myself on here. And I didn't like what I saw. Anyway, he just graduated with an associate's degree in cybersecurity, and he just finished his CompTIA plus. I don't know what any of those words mean. Certification, and now he wants an entry level position in cybersecurity.
So, if you or any of your friends know anybody in that field that wants to hire a delightful young man,
he's so delightful. He is
to us.
Yes, please do.
We'd be happy to send his resume.
Yes.
Minus any of his contact information.
No, you won't
get something secret.
Super secret.
Encrypted. Not his home address.
No. It will be the address of a random field.
That's correct. And the email address will go to the FBI first. And
then they'll filter it to us because they do that for us.
That's right.
I'm sure they won't mind. So,
well, this is delicious. Well done.
Thank you very much. It was fun to cook.
Yeah, sure it was. You really worked up a sweat.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna get back into the baking scene, I think now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Start pulling that cord.
I've already looked up recipes for next time because it's the holiday season.
I know. We want to make it special.
A friend of mine.
We want to make it nice.
Make it nice.
Make it nice.
I told a friend of mine that has a little boy. Baking at Christmas is magical. It's just, there's something about it. It's different. It's just different. It's magical.
This is crazy, but I love baking at the holidays and giving it away to people.
Oh, me too.
Because it just brings people joy to get a home baked good.
It does.
And I mean, I wish I could just give it to random strangers because I would just stand on the corner and say, you want a cake?
Yeah, but
they're not going to
look
take
at
it.
you weird, and they're like,
there's going to be some type of an arrest that's going to happen. It's going to be me.
News, and
I don't want that kind of
embarrassed.
Oh my God, they're already embarrassed.
Yeah, we can't have that. We can't have that.
But I will tell you this. This is good advice, I think. Stay sweet and don't murder.
Because if you kill people, we will talk about you.
That's right.
We don't want that.
We'll talk about you. Nice. We'll call you a crack smoking asshole.
Oh my gosh.
And we won't take it back.
No.
We're not taking it back.
No. If you're a crack smoking asshole, that's just what you are for the rest of your life.
Yes. You're a crack smoking asshole if you murder people.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
And
if you're in recovery and you're a crack smoking asshole, that's fine as long as you didn't murder somebody.
Yeah, but
once you murder people, then we're going to talk badly about you.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Just don't do it, people. Don't do it. Then we don't have to talk about you on a podcast.
God, so hot.
It's hot. It's real hot. Well, you got long sleeves on. We're not used to this.
I'm gonna have some iced Baileys when I hang up this phone. But
I don't have any chilled Baileys. We're not on the phone. We don't even know where we are, guys. We don't know. Jeez, it's not okay.
We need supper.
We need supper. No, my supper's about done though. So we're
I don't have anybody cooking my supper.
Sorry, I do.
That's it.
Well,
we already said it. Stay sweet, don't murder.
Blah blah blah. Email us, find us on social media, follow us, rate, subscribe, review, do all nice things for us, please. We could use it.
That's the holidays.
It's the holidays. Be in a giving mood and give to us.
As soon as our cookbook comes out, we'll post it on our
it's going to be everywhere.
Facebook page.
Yes, it's going to be great gifts for everybody in your life and people that you don't even know.
Yes.
Great teachers' gifts.
Oh, excellent teachers.
Yes, like just great gifts all around.
Indeed.
So, all right, guys, we love you. Happy holidays. We'll be back before Christmas.
Goodbye.